Okay, I just wanted to make this video. I realized I had an error here, so I'm just going to go here really quick. So right here with the second part of the question, it says if P of 2 is negative 18, this really should have been a positive 18. I'm sorry about that. It shouldn't be a negative 18. If it was a negative 18, it would basically be this graph flipped over. We don't want that. But the rest of the problem is pretty much the same. So first we're going to consider this fourth degree polynomial. We're told that this point here, 2, 50, that the graph goes through it. This shouldn't be 2, 50 though. It should be 2, 18. Sorry about that. So by looking at the graph, what can you say about the leading coefficient of a positive of P of X? Is it positive or negative? Now really quick, I'm going to draw a sketch of what two functions look like that are even with a positive leading coefficient and a negative leading coefficient. So we have our two graphs here. We're kind of just going to compare just from a visual aspect. I can see that this one closely mirrors this type of function. So I know that we have an even degree polynomial that has a negative leading coefficient. There's more logistics right here, but it really is more grounded in this visual. Now it says if the value of the function evaluated at 2 is 18, find a formula for it. So number one, we know our zeros are negative 2, negative 1, 1, and 4. So I know I can create these factors from that. This is just by adding the 2, adding the 1, minusing the 1, minusing the 4. That's how I come up with my factors. Another way to think about it, if you plug these values into these expressions, it ends up being 0. So now we're going to figure out if we evaluate this function at 2, we'd like it to be positive 18. So number one, again, I have it as negative 18 here. It should not be negative 18. It should be positive 18. So let me go ahead and switch that. So I'm going to go here and just make this a positive. So I had the rest, right? We're going to set the expression equal to 18 and plug in 2. All right, so we did that. The whole time. I don't even know why I ended up with that value at the end. Sorry, I'm all like talking to myself as doing this. But basically, we have these linear factors. So the same as we had from before. And then we set it equal to 18 and we plug in 2. And then we just leave this little space here. I don't know what it is yet. We're going to figure out what that space is. When we evaluate inside our parentheses, we end up with 4 times 3 times 1 times negative 2, which is negative 24. So then it's kind of like solving this value times negative 24 is 18. We divide both sides by 24, and we figure out that that blue value has to be negative 3/4. So you just take that and you put it right in front of your parentheses. Thank you to the student who noted that this was not the rate variable, that I changed it. Good catch. I'm going to reuse these videos, so I'm not going to say who it is, but you know I really do appreciate you. And now we're going to go ahead and figure out our local max and min again. Here I have my calculator. We're going to plug in this function here. So we go to the calculator, we go to y equals again. So we just type in as is, negative 3 over 4 times x plus 2, oopsies, times x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 4. I hit zoom 6 and I get this window. I need to adjust my y max now to be about 100 because I need to be able to see when my graph changes direction. Changes direction here when it changes from increasing to decreasing, and changes directions here from decreasing to increasing, and again from increasing to decreasing. So I need this point, and this point. So I have 2 maximums and 1 minimum. So I go back, I'm going to go to Second trace, I'm going to go to maximum. I'm going to go to my first maximum point. I'm going to go to the left of it because it's asking for the left bound. Then I go to the right, I press right bound, I go to the center, and it tells me my maximum point. So my first maximum point is this negative 1.57, comma 2.63. Okay, now we're gonna get our other maximum point. I go to second, go to maximum, go to the left of this other point, enter, go to the right of this other point, press enter, go to the point, press enter, I get 2.96, comma 30.03. There we go. Then we do our minimum point. We have one minimum point. So I go back to the calculator, I go to second, I'm going to go to my minimum point, enter, go to the right, enter, go on the point, enter, so it's 0.11, comma negative 0.6.08. And these are the values. I had them all right before, but I just wanted to make sure that I corrected that problem from before, specifically with this being equal to a 18 instead. So sorry about that again. Appreciate your patience.